day. Hey, I wanted to take just a few minutes today to talk a little bit about a question I get asked a lot, and that is, how does social media privacy interact with advertising, and where's the line, and what are my options? And so I thought it would be a really great blog post today, so I thought we'd go ahead and take care of it. But before I get into that, let me tell you a little bit about what the goals are for today. Hopefully by the end of this talk, you'll understand exactly what the advertising implications are in online marketing in today's world. And you'll understand why they're important to marketers and why actually as a consumer they're important to you as well. You're also going to understand, hopefully, some of the privacy choices that you can make around social media and specifically around what you see when in your Facebook timeline. And finally, we're going to understand how you can use those preferences to set them up to your advantage so that you can have a better experience online. So that's just a little bit about what we're going to cover today. But before I get into that, let me tell you a little bit about who I am and why I'm sitting here talking with you about this topic. Well, I'm Tisha Oman. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Paradux Media Group. And Paradux Media Group, if you aren't aware of it, is an advertising agency, and we specialize in integrated advertising. So taking a message that plays both in traditional advertising, television, radio, and print, and helping it carry through online so that together you get the full force of that message. And as a business, you can really take advantage of that in a very significant way. So that's what we do, and that's why we're sitting here talking with you today about how we use social media and online marketing in order to really reach some target audiences. Now, before I do that, if you haven't seen the latest and greatest Socialnomics 2014 video about the state of social media today, you really owe it to yourself to do so. So go ahead, if you would, and just hit pause on this video and look right below this video, and you will see the link to the Socialnomics video, and go take a look at it. It's 3.5 minutes, but it will blow your mind. All right, ready? Hit pause. See you in a second. You're back? Wasn't that cool? I mean, it's just so amazing what they can do, what social media is doing today in terms of how it's truly affecting culture and how it's truly changing lives. And with all of that happening and with the significance that it takes in order to really understand and harness the power that comes with that, social media is a really big deal. And as an online marketer, where you have the opportunity to advertise in social media, which you do in almost every social media platform today, you can really get good results because people are telling you specifically who they are, specifically what they like, and specifically why they care about certain things. And that allows you to reach out and touch someone personally in a way that you simply cannot do on television or in print or in any of the other traditional media areas. So social media is a really big place to do some very highly targeted advertising in today's world. And this means, advertising on Facebook, you can advertise on Twitter, you can advertise on LinkedIn. All the social media platforms have advertising avenues available, all with varying degrees of customization. And it really helps as a marketer to be able to reach a very, very highly targeted, very specific individual in a very significant way. Now, there are other ways that online marketing plays in today's world as well. And you're probably familiar with some of these, and some of those maybe not so much. Websites are a huge component of every single online marketing system because the whole goal should be to be able to get traffic from wherever you're advertising back to your website. So all the other mediums certainly play with website, and website is in fact the backbone of every online marketing scheme that's out there, or if not, it should be. They're doing it wrong. Pay-per-click advertising is a lot of what we're talking about when we talk about social media advertising, and that is simply the concept where I solicit a group of individuals, a target group, and I pay per click or per impression, depending on how you set it up, to allow my message to reach those individuals. And budgets vary. They depend on your industry. They depend on what kind of a target you're looking at. You can spend anything from 25 cents a click up to 15, 20 or more dollars per click. And you just have to determine what's right for your business, and you have to determine what's right in your industry. So for instance, if you were trying to reach somebody in the nutrition industries, weight loss, plan to spend a lot more because that's a very competitive world out there than perhaps furniture sales would be. That makes sense, right? Excellent. Now the new thing in pay-per-click is called remarketing. And you'll have seen this. You may have not thoroughly understood what's happening, but you'll have seen it out there in today's world. What happens is you go to a website, and on that website, they put a cookie in your browser, and a cookie is just a little tracking device. And then they go to Google, and they tell Google, hey, I want to know, I want my ad to appear in front of all of these people who've been to my website for the next 3 months. So you know you've seen this. You go to a website, and then for the next 3 to 6 months, all you see in the sidelines on your Google ad and in your browser are ads for that website. That's called remarketing. And while it's a little creepy, perhaps for the user experience when it gets down to it, it's actually a really great way from a marketing standpoint to put yourself back in front of people who showed some degree of interest in who you were in the first place. So they've already come to your website, they maybe got distracted, had to walk away, go chase a screaming kid, who knows, whatever. They left your website, but they still have that problem that they came to your website to solve. And so your ad being injected into their browser continues to put you at the top of mind and continues to give you the opportunity to engage in further conversation with them. So that's a really big thing. It's brand new, but it is hot. The other big thing that's pretty new and pretty hot is called directory listings. And this is really more of a tactic that you would use if you're trying to increase visibility for your website. But you go out to Google Plus and Bing and Yahoo and Foursquare, and the list is literally a mile long of all the different directories that are out there, and you have to make sure as a business owner your business is listed in them. It's very time consuming, fairly tedious work, but it is important to maintain that online credibility and that online visibility. And hand in hand with directory listings then goes search engine optimization, which is really the long-term game around how to get your website to appear in front of people who are interested in what you're talking about. Now here's the difference. Pay per click is like renting your house. When you stop paying per click, traffic stops coming to your website. With search engine optimization, it's more like owning your home. So someday, and it's not usually right away, it's a long game in search engine optimization, like a 30-year mortgage kind of a deal. But someday, if you're engaged in search engine optimization, you can stop paying to have people visit your website, and they will continue to find your website because of the search engine optimization work that you've done. So you'll see that out there. The whole goal in search engine optimization is to be able to get your website to do what's called rank, which usually means hit the first page of Google in whatever your search terms are. And you can do it either nationally and internationally, or you can do it just locally here in the Rogue Valley. So lots of options around search engine marketing. And then, of course, the last really big online marketing system is email marketing. And that really is where you have the most control over the interaction that happens with those individuals. It's your cheapest form of advertising once you get them on your list. And really, your email list should be converting money into your business on a regular and ongoing basis. And that's where you get all those direct mail marketing messages from all the different businesses that you've shown some interest in. Hopefully they're all called what's double opt-in. So you go, you sign up on a website for additional information. They send you an email that says, hey, you signed up on our website for additional information. Would you really like to receive that? And you say, yes, I would really like to receive that. That's called a double opt-in. That's actually the standard for email marketing. And if you're not doing it that way, you need to be, particularly if you're doing anything in Canada. There are new spam laws in Canada that you simply have to comply with, and double opt-in is the only way to go. So in theory now, gone are the days where you go to a business meeting and and you get somebody's business card and then you just add them to your newsletter list. That's not the right way of doing. You have to invite them to apply to your email list, and you have to get a double confirmation that they really want to receive the information from you. So that's how we do email marketing these days. But we're actually here to talk about why that's important. All of that online marketing stuff, why it's important from a marketing standpoint, from a business's standpoint, and how it impacts you from a privacy standpoint, and how you can improve the odds of seeing what you want to see, right? So the reason that it's important from a business standpoint is because it's where the people are today. You know, we have the ability to reach people at unprecedented levels and to really get very clear about who it is we're talking to in online marketing. And we've never had this degree of clarity before around who it is we're talking to and why it matters. And as a business owner, this translates to lower dollar costs to advertise your business and more effective results. So that's just a really nice, sweet formula that all of us are seeking when we're talking about advertising. And then the other piece is, since it is where the people are, you get an enhanced credibility as a business for participating there. Trust me, even if you're not as a business on Facebook, people are talking about your business on Facebook. Don't you want to know what they're saying? Well, if you're there, you have the opportunity to not only know, but to be invited into the conversation. And if you're not there, you absolutely do not. So get there. That's the bottom line with online marketing. Now, specifically, we also like it because it allows for massive customization everywhere. And as an individual interacting in today's world, we expect the technology there to be able to benefit us enormously. And, you know, honestly, in my life, and probably in yours as well, it makes a huge difference in how I experience the world. It makes our experiences better. So let me give you an example. You know, I've been a Netflix subscriber now for years and years and years. And over the many, many, many years I've been with Netflix, I've told Netflix what I thought of, it tells me today, 1,785 movies. I mean, seriously, apparently I need to get a life because I've watched way too many movies. But over the course of many, many, many years, I've told Netflix what I thought about 1,785 movies. And based on my ratings, Netflix is really, really good at understanding what kind of movies I want to see. And so, you know, in today, if Netflix tells me that the movie I'm about to rent is only 2 stars, I actually trust it because Netflix knows better than I know whether or not I'm going to enjoy the movie. And occasionally my partner Mike and I will get a little crazy and we'll rent a 2-star movie on Netflix, and we will instantly kick ourselves because we know better than to doubt Netflix's ability to understand what it is we like. And it doesn't matter what actor or actress is in it. It doesn't matter what the plot line says in the previews. The reality is, if Netflix thinks we're going to hate it, we're going to hate it. So don't even try to get around it. And that's a really, really big thing because that enhances my experience online. And it makes it so much better when I use my Netflix to be able to understand what kind of movies and entertainment I want to get out there and watch. Now, the same thing is true when I talk about online ads. In Facebook, for instance, and we're just going to talk about Facebook because it gets too crazy if I try to talk about all the different online ad experiences. But in Facebook in particular, you have the ability to really understand who the person is and to get really tight around how you're putting your message together in play. So, for instance, if I was selling a Jeep accessory, I could get online on Facebook and create an ad that went to all residents in the United States over the age of 18 who happen to have an interest in a Jeep Wrangler. And Facebook knows this because we tell Facebook exactly what it is we like to do. We tell Facebook what we like to see. We interact with Facebook, and our friends interact with Facebook, further informing Facebook's understanding of who and what we are. So this is just like Netflix, but it's on steroids, right? So in Netflix, I was giving them voluntarily my opinion about 1,785 movies. And in Facebook, I'm giving them voluntarily my opinion about almost everything in my world if I'm participating in Facebook in a significant way. And even if I'm not participating with Facebook in a significant way, my friends probably are. And based on what my friends' opinions are about things, Facebook can extrapolate what it thinks my opinions about things would be. Now, certainly when you get to that level, if you're not playing on Facebook very often, you're not going to have a terribly customized experience. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in the future. But really, I mean, think about it. Everything that's happening in my world, am I interested in Jeeps? Am I interested in fishing? Am I interested in social media? Whatever it is, Facebook knows. And Facebook has the opportunity to sell that knowledge to willing advertisers who are trying to reach people who like Jeeps, people who like fishing, people who are interested in social media. And all of that really creates a very specific and very targeted opportunity for a business to be able to reach a very specific individual, and for that very specific individual to discover things that they're probably interested in, just like I do with Netflix, and to really have a great, rich experience. So that's one option. Of course, you can get really, really finite on Netflix. You can say, I want my Jeep lid to be shown specifically only to people who live within a 10-mile radius of the city of Medford, Oregon, who are between the ages of 35 and 40, who like Jeep Wranglers and also have liked previously the Jeep page, for instance. And you can get super tight around who those are, or do have children present, or don't have children present in the home, or are homeowners, or aren't homeowners. The list is a mile long of the specific customizations you can get to with Facebook, because we tell Facebook so much about us. It's an online marketer's dream. But here's the thing that you have to know as a consumer and as a user of Facebook, and that is that you are in control of what you see on Facebook. Now, truly, the only option to make sure that you never see an ad on Facebook is honestly not to participate at all in Facebook. And so if you're worried at all about online privacy, or you're very concerned about how you show up on the internet, my best advice to you is don't show up on the internet, because we live in an online world today, and information privacy, in my personal opinion, is truly just an illusion. That being said, though, you still can customize your experience in Facebook in a very significant way. You have options, you're in control, you choose what you share on Facebook with whom publicly. Of course, you're sharing it with Facebook, that's a whole different topic. But you also get to choose how you interact with that. So Facebook's recently relaunched their privacy rules. You probably have confronted a Facebook privacy checkup recently. It's a little guy who comes up and says, hey, let's check out your privacy and make sure you're sharing only what you want to be sharing. And the reason is Facebook's been sued, obviously, about their privacy issues. And they really try very hard to be very clear with you about who you're sharing what status posts with and when. But here's the thing from an online standpoint. First of all, Facebook knows what I'm interested in. This is an ad that shows up in my Facebook timeline. It's a social media strategist trying to get me to come to a free online learning event. And based on my preferences and who I am on Facebook, Facebook thinks that's something that I might be interested in. And they may or may not be right. But here's the thing you need to know, and that is that you get to choose what you see on Facebook. All you have to do when you see an ad you don't like, or that doesn't resonate, or that doesn't feel right to you, is look right up in the top right corner. There's a little itty bitty arrow, and if you click that drop down arrow, you're going to get an option that says, I don't want to see this, or hide all ads from this social media strategist. And those two options, when you click them, are going to modify your ad settings in Facebook so that you see only more of what you want to see, and you see less of what's not relevant to you. On my Facebook stream, I am religious about clicking that little button and getting rid of all game notifications from my friends. I can't stand them. They absolutely make me crazy. And in my online Facebook experience, because I've been very, very diligent about that over the years, I almost never see a game notification at all in my Facebook timeline. And when I see ads that don't appeal to me or annoy me, or they've appeared too often, or I'm just not the right target demographic for them, I let Facebook know by clicking that little button and saying I don't want to see it, or I don't ever want to see an ad from X, Y, and Z company ever again. And I tell Facebook why, and that helps Facebook to more customize my experience online, so that they're showing me ads that are actually more relevant to me. And I have found, although it's not very often, I have found some great companies that I currently do business with because they advertised in my Facebook feed, and it was a good fit for me and for my business. So, the bottom line on Facebook is you are in control. You can customize your entire approach on Facebook. And it is, from a marketing standpoint, one of the lowest, most effective forms of communicating with the target audience. It allows us to reach right out and get right to the heart of who it is that we're trying to reach. And at the end of the day, it's trackable, which is something that I cannot say for a good portion of the advertising and marketing mediums that we have out there. So today we covered just briefly some of the advertising implications of online marketing. We talked about what privacy choices you can make in social media and how to better customize your experience in Facebook. And we talked about how, if you're really concerned about that, the only way in today's world to get around the privacy implications that are in online marketing is just not to be online, which unfortunately for a lot of us is simply not an option. So I hope that was helpful. As always, if you have questions, please leave them below. I'd be happy to answer them. And in the meantime, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.